Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Lost. This is the 10th episode of the final season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free. The link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in and enjoy. Speak about links in the description. We are running our most liked characters of the whole entire franchise. 3 votes are allowed. Your results will be shown in the final episode, as well as a poll for the next show on the channel, which will be uploaded daily on the Patreon and 5 days a week on the YouTube. So hopefully you guys are excited for what is to come. Now, last episode was really interesting. We kind of focused all in on Richard, and you know, I was thinking maybe the placement of it, as we're so close to pretty much the end of the show. Literally, we're in the end game now, moving into the 18th episode. But it was actually so good, you know. His acting was, yeah, it just shows that if you give somebody a little bit of time to show what they could do, you know what I mean, they can really get involved, you know what I mean, they can really make you feel for them, want to see more of them. I feel like Claire's kind of doing it this season when she's finally got the chance to obviously portray a different side of a character. And I think Richard last episode, you know, quite a lot of it was in Spanish, and it was obviously a story of him and his family and his wife dying, and the way he got obviously transported to the island and ended up being in a position that he currently is in. And we got some answers as well, you know, wondering what happened to the statue, how did it break down? We got that. How did the Black Rock obviously get inside of the jungle? We got that as well. Found out how Richard actually got his powers. Again, that was answered to us. So I mean, it's good when the show actually progresses slowly and gives you information. Also, I like the analogy that Jacob was doing, giving obviously to Richard, when basically we're saying the wine inside the glass was basically the black mist that was floating around the island, and basically the cork is the island, and basically it's containing it from spreading across the world. Even if you tip it upside down, we're still there plugging it, we're still there holding it. If you pull it out, it's giving it a chance to go somewhere else. And basically we're saying that the island always needs a kind of keeper, and that's the reason why they've got candidates. Now, he didn't want to be a person that actually, you know, got engaged with the people that he brought to the island. So Richard was saying, you know, am I like the first time that you brought a ship here? And he was like, no, I've done it before, but everybody's kind of died. And he was saying that, well, why have you not stepped in? Why have you not helped? You know what I mean? Why have you let the monster go around and kill them? And basically, you know, Jacob was trying to say that he wanted people to fend for themselves. He wanted to learn, think, adapt, you know what I mean? Feel the island. And he doesn't really want to get involved. And, you know, nobody has actually got involved with the people that are currently landed, haven't they, in the oceanic flight? Like, they've literally done it all themselves and survived. And I'm interested to see who actually takes over the charge, because I was right. You know, I don't think Jack's name was actually on the rocks, but it actually was in the lighthouse. You know, you guys did point it out that he was number 23 when he spun it around and it got to his name. That was his number. And, you know, he is obviously a candidate. He's a 6-1. And, you know, it would be fitting really if it was Jack that actually was the person that was supposed to take over, just because he's kind of the lead character, I would say anyway. I mean, there's many of them have actually got a lot of stuff going on now, but I kind of feel like Jack is the lead character. They're building it up that way as well, you know what I mean? Kind of getting onto Locke's side kind of last season, thinking it was kind of destiny, you know what I mean? Locke's technically dead. It's not really him that we're watching, even though we are watching him, if that makes sense. And you know, I feel like Jack is pretty much loving it right now, so it's going to be interesting to see how we go. You know, the Man in Black is recruiting. He's got a lot of people on his side. You know, we've still got the thing with WIDMORE. Sawyer's kind of playing both sides as well. He's trying to escape with Kate in the submarine. So there's loads of stuff going on. I'm excited to see how we conclude the show. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash a like. Really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode. Oh, they've got mics.
Where'd you find Coco?
I didn't. Mind if I sit down? No, you and I haven't had time to talk, but I was wondering if James had filled you in on what I showed him at the cliffs.
The one with the names on the wall.
We can leave the island. All of the names that haven't been crossed off go together.
But Son's not here.
You just take care of that leg.
I know why he's doing that, because obviously that means that none of them's there to stop him.
I'm sorry, federal law says we have to confiscate you $25,000.
Money.
You can exit right over there, sir.
I mean, surely that's kind of illegal. I know that he didn't declare it, but surely he can't just take it and not give it him back.
우리 바로 떠나기 전에 아버님이 시계하고 같이 전해주라고 주신 거야.
A reservation for Peck. Beautiful ocean view room for you on the 8th floor.
2 room. No Mary.
Yes, there is a separate room reservation for Quan. Miss Peck, Mr. Quan, welcome to Los Angeles.
I got an errand to run. Keep an eye on the camp while I'm gone.
I don't feel anything.
Saeed's acting's pretty good. He looks like he's dying inside.
Anger, happiness, I don't feel it anymore.
Maybe that's best, Saeed.
What are you doing, Oz?
I'm getting out of here before that thing comes back. I've waited long enough. I'm going to find my wife.
Find her where?
Go back to the temple. And if she's not there, I'll try the beach.
Why has he got shot? They're coming in, taking over the camp, WIDMORE. There's literally nothing you could do in that situation, is there?
Is this the guy?
Let's take him.
Oh, what did he want him for? Is it part of like the bigger story that we just watched a minute ago? You know, the interesting thing is that in that backstory or whatever it is, the parallel thing, like they're not actually married. And mad in it, our traditions, 2 rooms, you know what I mean? Like people won't even stay together unless they cement it. But I just think that's crazy. I mean, I respect it, you know what I mean? Because that makes it even more kind of meaningful when they are together. But the 25k that he got took off them, yeah, I think that the government being able to just take it off you and never giving it you back should not. I don't think it should be allowed. I know you didn't declare it, and maybe there should be a fine. You know what I mean? 10% you've lost or whatever. But like, 25k is a lot of money. For someone to save up that, it takes years, mate. Obviously, they're rich and he got it off of dad. And that's why I'm coming in for the second one. Is if it is actually off of dad, you know, she should be able to ring him up and say, look, mate, do you know what I mean? You give Jin this money and he took it off him. It's not his fault. It's not my fault. You wanted it being in the suitcase, not declaring it. And obviously it's been confiscated. You better send us some more. Do you know what I mean? But it's interesting. I mean, I'm excited to get a Jin and Son episode today because I've said that I wanted these two to get together for a bit, you know what I mean? We've not seen them together for a while.
The last thing Richard said before he went stomping off into the jungle was that we were all in hell and he had no idea what we were supposed to do next.
Jacob has never lied to me before. If he said Richard knows what to do, then Richard knows what to do.
How are the tomatoes?
Dead.
Remember when you first planted this here? Feels like 100 years ago.
Hurley took me to a lighthouse. There was a mirror, and all around it there were hundreds of names written down. It was a reason why we were.
I don't want to hear about how this is our purpose or destiny.
He's kind of falling into the destiny, this is fate kind of thing, Jack.
전 하루 이렇게 멀리까지 왔는데 식당에 가봐야겠어.
그 사람 우리 아빠 직원이에요. 그렇게 걱정할 필요가 없어요. 왜? 단추 채우라고 하지 그래? 기내안에서 했던 것처럼. 그럼 이거는요?
아니지.
Remember though, the first season, he was proper protective, wasn't he?
Son, bad day?
What are you doing here?
I found your husband. I can take you to him right now.
You killed those people at the temple.
Those people were confused. Come with me. Jin is waiting. Son! Son, wait!
That's interesting. The thing is, right, before we get into that, even if she went back with him, Jim wouldn't be there again, and then she'd be fuming. Do you know what I mean? Like, she would have gone all that way for him not to be there, because obviously he's been taken by Widmore's men. But at least people in the camp, Claire Sawyer, Kate, and that can back it up that he actually was there, and this guy was actually telling her the truth. Oh. I was gonna say, can he not take his Black Mist form and kind of like just grab her, but not hurt her?
우리 도망가요. 같이 도망가요.
돈도 없이 어떻게?
내 앞으로 된 계좌가 있어요. 내가 묻는 말에만 대답해요. 날 사랑해요?
자기 잘 알잖아, 내가 얼마나 사랑하는지.
Miss Beck, I'm
Why?
Martin Keamy.
That's how he ended up getting Jin.
I'm a friend of your father's.
I hate the way he talks. I just do.
Mind if I come in?
Yeah, I forgot that he got taken.
Son?
그 사람 어디 있어요?
I'm sorry, what?
날 쫓아왔는데.
It's funny how she results back into her own, obviously, mother tongue. But now he's confused as well.
Hey! What happened?
We were attacked.
By whom?
I don't know.
Hey!
But remember, they done this to Thingy's boyfriend.
It's called Room 23. Dharma Initiative was doing experiments on subliminal messaging in here. These are grid maps that the Dharma people used to identify pockets of electromagnetism. It sure looks like it says Jin Sukwan. Is it you or isn't it?
You want answers to your questions? Then get me your boss.
Wrap this in plastic. You don't want it to get wet. We're taking the outrigger.
What you said to Jin about the names on the wall? You told him you needed them all to get off the island. It's my name on the wall.
No.
When we go home, Aaron's not going to know me. Stranger to my own son. He thinks Kate's his mother. Is her name on the wall?
Not anymore. But I need Kate, because I'm 3 people shy of getting off this island, and Kate can help me get these people on that plane. Once she does, then whatever happens, happens.
What do you need a boat for? Can't you just turn into smoke and fly your ass over the water?
Do you think if I could do that, I would still be on this island?
Thought you were trying to avoid Charlie Widmore.
They took one of our people, James. So I'm going to get him back.
The thing is, what I'm trying to think there, yeah, he just said, he made kind of like a joke saying, if you think I could just turn into the smoke and fly across the island, do you reckon I'd still be here? I.e. insinuating, do you reckon I'd be locked in this vicinity, so to speak? But like, Sun is on a different island to them. Most definitely. She's at the beach where they originally crash landed, so she's on the main land. He's obviously right now, he's on the second island, isn't it? The one obviously where the cages was, the one where, well, I'm assuming that they're there anyway, because when he went over to speak to Ben and he was saying, come and join us, we're going to be over there, you know, that's what I'm assuming, that they're on the other island, because they've come in, Widmore took Jin and took him back to the Dharma, and these are over there. So like, maybe, well, he can fly across both of the islands because they're both kind of technically the same kind of thing, close to each other. I don't know. Or maybe he's getting his boat. I'm not actually too sure with that one, but he definitely just went from one island over to the other to speak to Sun and then come back to this island. That definitely just happened. But also, he's just gone over and spoken to Claire and he was saying, look, mate, your name's not on the wall, Casey's not on the wall. You know, I don't really need you guys, but I do. You're key to getting off. You know, we need Kate to recruit them. And then once we're on the plane, you can do whatever you want. Do you know what I mean? I.e. insinuating, if you want to kill her, kill her. And I'll just go back to what I've been saying consistently with the Kate storyline in terms of this Claire being angry at her. To me, it makes no sense. You can't be angry at somebody who found your kid after you disappeared and left him in the woods, and then give him a good upbringing, and then wanted to actually technically give the kid back to you once they found you. You know what I mean? So, like, if I had a kid and I went for a stroll and I put my kid down and then never come back, and then in 3 years' time I found out that you picked my child up and took care of him, and there was always been looking for me, you know what I mean, so that you could return it, how can I be mad at you? That's literally the situation that Claire's in. I don't really get her anger towards Kate. I actually believe in this situation Kate done nothing wrong, but it'd be interesting to see as well.
Nice for me. This is really nice.
I checked his room. He's not there.
Check the bathroom.
He's just literally stood there.
Mr. Kwan, look, thank you for the watch, okay? You're also supposed to give me an envelope with money in it. What's that guy's name? The Russian guy, speaks like 9 different languages. Danny's friend.
Mikhail.
Mikhail. Do you speak Korean?
I think so.
Okay, go get him.
Says the money her father gave them was taken at customs.
Yo, this is the guy that killed Charlie.
It's not my problem.
She wants you to let them please go to the bank. They will get it for you.
You take her to the bank. I'll take Casanova here to the restaurant.
두 사람에 대해서는 Mr. Beck의 비밀로 해주십시오.
Don't worry about that. Okay, your secret is safe with me.
For the 4th time, I was gathering mangoes and she was already unconscious when I found her. Why won't you believe me?
You can understand what I'm saying, but you can only speak Korean. A condition that's caused by trauma and it affects the language center of your brain. You're gonna be okay.
What are you smiling about?
Pack your bags, we're leaving.
I don't think he can actually walk past it, can they? They've secured the plane, look.
Do you know who I am?
Charles Widmore.
Why did you come here?
You took one of my people, Jin Kwan. A wise man once said that war was coming to this island. I think it just got here.
Can he not go up and over the pylons? Because they've done that before, haven't they? We've seen them climb over and it works.
Man wants to leave the island, and that plane's the only way he can do it. You want to know where we're going? We're going to stop him.
그럼 이 섬에서 어떻게 탈출하려고요?
Why isn't she speaking English?
She was hit on the head when she was running away from Locke.
What did he want? What did he say to you?
난 이 세상을 구하러 온 게 아니라 내 남편을 다시 찾아서 다시 돌아가려고 여기 온 거야. 여기서 한 발짝도 움직이지 않을 거야.
Mate, bilingual people are so talented. How she can flick between that and then just speak perfect English. It's so good. Even in last episode doing the Spanish to English.
pension 계좌가 끊겼답니다.
나밖에는 이 계좌에 대해서 아무도 아는 사람이 없어요.
Who closed the account, please?
Looks like her father, Mr. Woo Jung-Peck, had access.
Did he think that she was going to run away as well? Oh, does he technically just get sat down? Was he beaten up? I don't actually think he was.
What's going on?
I bumped his head on the door.
Gotta be more careful than that. You don't really understand a word I'm saying to you right now, do you? Nothing. I'm gonna strap you in here. Just in case you figure out what's about to happen to you. I can't have you freaking out. You know the 25 grand that you were supposed to deliver? That was my fee for popping you. You know, anyone who works for Peck knows the cardinal rule. Hands off the boss's daughter. Heart wants what the heart wants. I'm sorry.
I mean, that conversation didn't kind of make sense, right? Because, well, basically he was saying that his 25k was his fee to pop Jin, and my interpretation of the word pop would mean to shoot, to kill him. But obviously the 25k didn't come, so he didn't get it. But he's not lost it because he's not done the action. Technically, he's attained the Rolex and not actually had to do anything. Does that make sense? So, like, the guy's come, he's like, alright, I haven't got a 25k, so I'm not going to kill you. Because obviously I've not been paid. But I'll take this Rolex and I'll just be on my way. You know what I mean? That's what I would have done. Secondly, you know, basically he was trying to say, don't dip the pen in the company's ink. That's literally what it is. And it's like, basically, don't get in a relationship with the boss's daughter. But again, that makes no sense in the context of Jin and Sun. Because he never worked for him before he got together. He was already dating Jin. Jin and Sun was already dating prior to him working for her father. He actually went in and asked for a hand in marriage to see if he could marry her. And then obviously a counter proposal was made to him to go and work for her dad, to obviously gain the approval, basically, from him so that they could be together. So it's not, you know what I mean? It's not what he's saying, basically, like that, messing around with the company's, you know, daughter, because he was already together before he even had that position. So didn't really work for me anyway in that conversation.
This was not supposed to happen for days. We had a timetable.
He was leaving their camp.
Well, you should have let him leave and taken him in the jungle. But what's done is done. I need you to get the package from the submarine and take it to the infirmary. My deepest apologies for everything that's been done to you. My name is...
I know who you are.
I thought you might want to have it. Her name is Jion.
Oh, it's his kid.
I understand you've never seen her before.
Yo, imagine the feels going through that for the first time.
The one thing you want is to be reunited with your wife and daughter. It would be short-lived if that thing, masquerading as John Locke, ever got off this island. I came here to make sure that doesn't happen. How? Come with me.
That's interesting. From that conversation, Charles seems like he wants to save the entire world. He smoked him, didn't he?
죽이지 말아주세요. 제발 살려주세요. I don't know why you're here, and I don't really care. Free. Free.
Yeah, he's not putting himself in any potential harm, is he?
Martin. Martin. Who did this to you? Look behind you, you idiot.
누가 이런 거야?
버리라고 그랬지.
어서.
Did she get hit with a stray bullet? Oh, no way. Has she just been hit in the belly or what? I don't know.
You can give it a try? Went back out to your garden to see if he was there. That's one stubborn tomato. Guess no one told it was supposed to die. What did he say to you?
Literally just put he has Jin. That's all it has to say. Yeah.
Why didn't you go with him?
Yeah.
You trust me?
Yeah, you would trust Jack. I don't think you have any reason not to trust Jack for the time that you've been there.
I'll help you find him and I'll get you both on that plane and as far away from this island as you can get.
But I love Jack's hair in this season, me, compared to the season 1. I think his hair's so much better.
Oh, hell.
He's alone.
Thought you went over there to find Jen.
They said they didn't have him.
And you believe that?
No. When you were over there, James, you mentioned that Widmore had someone guarding a room on his submarine. I don't like secrets.
Saeed now, mate. I think the use of his character's been pretty good, me, this season. Who's this that they're transporting across? So Desmond, do you reckon he was the package that was locked up then? Maybe. You know, Saeed's gonna go down there and not really find anything, is he? Oh, that's actually interesting. I don't really know why Desmond would be the key asset that they've actually had locked up on the way here. You know, he is Widmore's daughter's husband / kid's dad. You know what I mean? So, like, technically you won't want to harm him unless you proper hated him. You know what I mean? Like, unless you hardcore hated Desmond and you didn't want him in your kid's life and your grandson's life, then yeah, you would. But it's interesting that he has actually returned. Saeed looks good. Do you not think? Like, he is... like in the Vampire Diaries, when they turn the emotions off. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally, when you turn it off, when Caroline and Damon done it, and like, as soon as it flicked, you just see the total mannerisms and everything change in their facial expressions. He's doing it perfect to me. Honestly, really is. Like, I feel like if you look at his character he is just playing it like stone cold dead. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be good, and I feel like I feel like they've done well me this season, to be honest. Like, I feel like obviously the first 5 seasons, Locke was Locke, and I actually really liked his character, and I feel like he acted well. But like going into this last season, he's just been given like a different role to play, and I feel like he's doing it really well. I feel like I'm watching him, and he's somebody different, just like the same way. Like I said, I keep going to the Vampire Diaries because it always had some sort of like similarities to this. So the same way that obviously Elena played Catherine. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she played Elena and Catherine in the same story, and you could tell straight away it looked the same person, but when that person was in the room talking, you would know which character she was actually playing. And I feel like that's the same with Locke. I feel like he stepped up and done really well. I feel like Saeed with this role has been really good. Like I said as well with Claire, these 3 are all different to the previous roles that they've had in the show, and I feel like they're all standing out and doing really good, and you got to give credit to them because they're acting really well. Now, I liked this story, how he was tying stuff in. Again, that I totally forgot actually happened. You know, I totally forgot that Saeed got in and killed Keyman, and, you know, he went in there, and Jin was locked up, and I totally forgot that Jin obviously arrived, and he had his money looked into, and he got taken to the back, and then, boom, we flick through into today's episode, we join it all together, and, you know, it's really interesting. Now, obviously, her father knew that this stuff was going on because he closed her account, didn't he? And obviously took the money away. And it seemed like Kimi was only after the money anyway because he was potentially supposed to be just doing a hit on Jin. Now imagine the irony of him actually doing the hit and getting the 25k, but the 25k was the money that was actually in Sun's account that her dad actually extracted. So technically she would have been the funder of the person that would go to kill her husband. You know what I mean? That would be some ruthless twist, wouldn't it? But it didn't happen. And you know, he's managed to set free, but she's been shot, mate. And she's revealed she's pregnant in this parallel universe. But in the present, he's actually seen that he's got a daughter, and he's flipped through the pictures, which is really nice, actually. Like, it actually was really nice. It made me smile, that. So I'm glad that he's seen that. Now I just want them to reunite, obviously, back in the present. That's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. If you're not yet voted for your most liked characters throughout the whole entire franchise, please do. Takes 30 seconds. 3 votes are allowed. Your results will mine be shown in the final episode of this season. And soon, honestly, very soon, because obviously this was the 10th episode and we're going to 18. It might be even tomorrow's or the one after. I'll open the votes for season 6. And then obviously we'll start adding a couple of characters in if they start to be a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? So like, I won't put someone like Zoe in right now, but this like 8 episodes left, and you know, if 3-4 episodes in she's been hardcore involved, she'll get added to it. But you know, many of the people that have obviously watched the show already, they already know who they're going to be voting for, and obviously I think I'm going to start opening up the season 6 reactions votes for the most likes and dislikes, because there is quite a lot of polls going, especially in the final episodes, when we do obviously the favorite season throughout this franchise. You know what I mean? We also do the favorite characters throughout the franchise, favorite characters from the season 6, the most disliked from the season 6, and also reveal the next show on the channel. So we do skip through 5 votes, and it does take a long time, but that is the beauty of doing it. I love seeing you guys' opinions and engaging, and I can't wait obviously to see all of that get revealed in the final episode. But today, you know, we've seen it, Locke's gone over, he's had a conversation with Widmore, he knows that obviously he wants to take him out. Now the interesting thing is as well, basically in the conversation, was it with Jin? I can't remember who Widmore had the conversation with, but he was basically saying that, look mate, you know, if he actually gets off this island, he'll destroy the whole entire world. That's kind of what he was referencing, and he was saying, look, I'm here, I've come to this island because I want to actually stop that, I want to stop him. And you know, that's different to why I was thinking that Widmore was coming to the island. I've never actually really thought before why that was actually the case. You know what I mean? I never thought, why is he so determined to keep returning? He's been here before, he's always trying to fight and come and, you know, scrape his way back. And why is he so, do you know what I mean, like so committed to it? And now obviously if you listen to what he was saying today, it seems like he wants to help the entire population. Basically he says that it's kind of like a cancer that'll just spread and just destroy the whole of humanity. And like, I think it's really interesting actually. You know, maybe I've misjudged the whole Widmore character in his entirety, but I've also got to say, even if I have misjudged him, he's actually been annoying all the way up until this point. You know what I'm saying? So like, just because you may have not understood what the character's meant to be and then what is actually their final goals are, doesn't mean that they've not portrayed an annoying character throughout the whole time they've made an appearance in the show. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think like watching this is Widmore's been any sort of likable character throughout it. I don't think he's done any actions that I thought like, yo, that's decent. You know what I mean? I actually feel like he's been kind of, arsehole in most of it. So it's going to be interesting to see how obviously we play out him and the rest of him in the final season. And now they've come in, they've hit everybody with the darts, you know what I mean? They've took everybody out, they've taken Jin. I'm actually thinking that, you know, when the names that was on the wall and we've got Kwon, I feel like it's one of those foreshadows, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you do it all the time. Basically, I've been saying that maybe everybody is dead on the island and they actually all died in the original first crash. And the reason why I'm saying that is because they kind of foreshadowed it quite a few times in the show, at least maybe 10 times in different occasions, just with a reference of we're actually dead. And I'm just thinking that maybe obviously it's like an end goal, so when it does get to the final episode and it turns out the plane actually did crash and everyone has been smoked, you know what I'm saying, like they could say, well, we told you, you know what I mean, we never lied, it was always in plain sight, you just didn't pick up on it. And that's kind of what I'm thinking here. So like Kwon today, we had a different surname for Sun. You know what I mean? When he went to check in, she had one name, it was like Patil or something. He obviously checked in at Kwon, 2 different rooms. And then obviously, I feel like that's the foreshadow to say that Kwon may be the actual original, you know what I mean? Like born name, him, Jin, as the potential contender for the island. I still have no idea who it would be if I was going to pick, you know. I think I said last episode that it would make sense that it would be Jack just because of how much he's kind of led and they kind of like, he's been the main character and it would make sense. But I actually think that Hurley should be the person that's chosen. I feel like he's got the talents because he can speak to the dead. I feel like he's a warm-hearted person who actually cares for everybody as well. I don't think he's selfish. He don't really like to engage in kind of fights and confrontations. You know, he thinks of others, not just himself. I just feel like he's a good character. I feel like he would be an ideal person to be there protecting everything. And yeah, I don't feel like if it was him, you could actually turn around and say that's a bad pick. So that would be my choice. I'd be interested to see, obviously, who you guys would pick. Maybe you could drop it in the comments. I don't know if it would be spoilers because obviously I don't know if somebody does actually get picked in the end, you know what I mean? Or if everybody dies, you know, maybe it's something to leave to the final episode. But then when we do get to the final episode, like I said, with all the polls and everything that's going on, it'll just get lost with all the craziness that we're all going to be discussing. So if you can, and it's not going to do spoilers, and if you could just choose who you would like, or you would think would be a best fit for the island, drop it in below and put your reason why you think it. Like I just said, I chose Hurley because of everything that I've just said, and he's warm-hearted, he's kind, he don't really care about money, he loves like everybody, do you know what I mean? He's friendly. I don't really see him not getting on with everyone. Just think he's a great guy, and he's got, even though, yeah, he can speak to dead people and he sees it kind of like as a bad thing, I actually think it's really good. So that would be my choice and my reason. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, and you could do yours without spoilers, and I'd be interested to find out. So thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.